Hello, I'm Sue. I'm the course coordinator and probably the tutor on the course for this semester. In case you haven't met me before, hello, nice to see you. I just thought I would talk a little bit about our expectations for the final of the course assessments here, just to make sure that there's no confusion about what you need to do. The first thing I want to say is that don't get hung up on trying to create a perfect piece of writing for this assessment. I accept that we don't talk about the craft of writing fiction or writing memoir in any kind of detail on this course, so I'm not expecting you to write something that is perfect and of a publishable standard. What I'm looking for is a piece of writing that conveys some kind of story, whether it's a true story based on your own experience or based on your family experience, you know, a memoir or a sort of like a little mini biography of someone. Anything like that is fine. Fiction stories are fine as well, so if your natural bent is to write fiction and that's what you love to do, then by all means write something in fiction. I'm also happy to receive a kind of personal essay and just where you explore your understanding and thoughts about given situations. But the key thing to underline that flexibility in your approach is that the story must be written in a Māori voice. And that means it's a story that is written through the eyes of a Māori character or about a Māori situation. And it isn't written from a Pākehā perspective and understanding. So it's not about saying, I did this and this is what I learned, but it's about seeing through the viewpoint of a Māori person and expressing thoughts and ideas from that viewpoint. So if for instance me, as a Māori woman, got that big to front, as a very Pākehā woman, decided that I would write a biography about someone, if I chose that person, it's no good me sitting there writing, say, when I interviewed da-da-da-da-da, this is what I understood. It would be about capturing my subject's words and voice and the way that they spoke and the opinions that they expressed. So that's the important thing, is that whatever story you tell in whatever style, it's not something that needs to be filtered through you particularly, but through your subject. And this is especially important if you're not of a Māori ethnicity. If you are of a Māori ethnicity, then in some respects you might be lucky and have a bit of a head start, but it's still important that your story comes through in that kind of voice. And this is for all the reasons that we've talked about in the course, because it's about the whole thing of writing and communication and written communication and the telling of stories. It's about conveying something important, something you believe, something you know, something you imagine, and it's connecting with that reader in a particular way. And in this course, the particular way that we ask for is in a Māori voice. Now, I hope you understand what that term means based on everything that we've already discussed. But if you've got any questions at all, then please just get hold of me. I'm here to help, and I like hearing from everybody involved. So that's the important thing. Choose whatever kind of story, true or false, or a blend of both, that interests you. Don't aim for something that's perfect. I'm not looking for that. But make sure it has that Māori voice and Māori perspective. When it comes to crafting the story, although I'm not going to be looking for a perfect publishable standard story, I do want to see something that is cohesive and that has a completeness to it. So a series of notes or ideas is just not going to cut it. You need more than that. So if you're telling a fiction story, remember you've only got 1,000 words. It's not a lot. So don't have too many characters, don't have too many events, don't cover too long a period of time. Keep your story focused on a particular event. And that is the same if you're writing a memoir about something that happened in your own life. Keep, focus on the individual event and don't try and sort of spread out too much around it. Ditto if you're writing a biography. Very unlikely that you'll be able to write a whole biography of a person's whole life in 1,000 words. So focus on one particular angle or aspect and write on that one. So I think this is an opportunity in this assessment to kind of enjoy yourself, to sort of say, go off in your own kind of direction and choose something that interests you and that you're passionate about and write about that. And in part 2 of the assessment, we just ask you to write a really brief explanation of why you think your story works and the kind of literary devices you may have used or the deliberate language choices and that kind of thing. And again, we're not looking for something highly academic or erudite even. We're just looking for something that says, this is what I've done and this is why I think it works. And that's it really. And you're welcome to say, this is what I tried to do. I'm not sure I pulled it off, but I like this outcome as a result. So as I say, enjoy it. Begin by writing a draft, just in many words or as few words as you like, depending on how you work, jotting down ideas and thoughts that sort of contribute to your complete story. And then round about the second week of this particular block, develop the story out further and fill in the gaps or take out those chunks that don't fit. I'm happy to give you feedback on your work in progress, but if you can get it to me by the end of the third week of the block, that gives me time to read it and to respond, and then it gives you time to rewrite or tweak if anything needs to be changed. And then in the final week, in the fourth week, that's the time to give everything a bit of a polish up and to just sort of do a check on presentation and all of that kind of thing. And then upload, of course, by the final day of the block. This has been a really interesting course as far as I'm concerned, because it explores so much in the way of theory and opinion, and it does touch on things that some people find quite controversial. But I think exploring those options and coming to understand what people meant when they wrote something the way they did, or why it's caused controversy, is going to deepen your understanding of not only the pieces of writing we've touched on or the people, but on the broader impacts within the communities and even for a lot of writers around the world. So I just want to encourage you to sort of have all of those kind of ideas underlying in your mind as you write, and to write from your heart, to put down what's important to you and to enjoy that whole creative process.